crafters, Lisa here from Fun Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. So this week I've got a project on making a mesh wreath. Now a couple weeks ago we did a sunflower one, and I promised you I would show you how to make a wreath doing the pull-through method with the mesh ribbon. So I hope you stay tuned for us to do a step-by-step tutorial on making these fun wreaths. But hey, before we do that, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thanks so much. I so appreciate it. And if you get a chance, click on that subscribe button down below and click on the bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. I try to do it every Friday. That's why we call it Inspiration Friday. So give me a second, I'm gonna get my camera angle changed and we are gonna get making. Okay, crafters, let's get going with this project. So I just love using the mesh ribbon. And I picked up this ribbon actually at Hobby Lobby, but I'm gonna give you a link also that you can pick it up at off of Amazon. And so what this is waterproof mesh, which works out great if you want to be doing a wreath that's maybe gonna be sitting outside. Okay, so I'm using 5.5 inch by 10 yards. Now I picked up two colors. I'm gonna start with white and then I'm gonna add a little punch of red in there. So this is such an easy project and does not take a lot of supplies. So I picked up a wreath ring, and I grabbed this one at the Dollar Tree, but you can also grab them off of Amazon also. I'm going with a 14 inch on this one. Okay, and so I've got the wreath ring, I've got the Deco mesh ribbon, I've got some pipe cleaners that are gonna help secure my wreath, and I got a pair of scissors. That's it, you guys. This is such an easy project. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with a new roll of ribbon, okay? And so I'm just gonna open up. Now the one nice thing I like about the pull through wreath method is you don't have to cut your mesh at all. And so we're just gonna take it straight off of the roll here. The other piece, the reason why I like it this way is sometimes this type of mesh can really ravel, and this stops all that raveling. Okay, so what I like to do first is I like to put my initial pipe cleaners on. And so what I like to do is I like to start on the outside first, okay? So I'm gonna go between that crossbar here, and I am just going to put my pipe cleaner through, and I'm gonna twist twice, okay? That way I know it's nice and secure. And just to save some time, I like to go ahead and have these done all the way around. Now this is a 14 inch wreath, and so it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cross sections. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put 6 pipe cleaners on. Now I will tell you guys, I did cut my pipe cleaners in half before we started. And so you just need actually 3 to start out with, pipe cleaners. But I do use extra pipe cleaners because you are gonna see that once we put our first layer on, we're gonna add a second layer. And that second layer, a lot of that is gonna depend on really where we wanna fill in our wreath. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just start with these right now, okay? So easy as that. I've put all of those to start out with, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wreath and I am going to pinch the ends together, okay? Just to kind of group it together, okay? And I'm gonna come from the bottom, okay? And I'm going to come through, and I want to lay that on top of the pipe cleaner, and then I'm gonna twist again. So I like to twist a couple times, and then what I like to do with my pipe cleaners is I like to bring them to the back, okay? And then you can twist to the back, and we'll clean up the back when we're all done, but that way it's just all nice and twisted, okay? So now the pull through method is just like it sounds. I'm gonna pull it through, okay? And I just like to use my hand in there as a measurement. So you guys can see I'm just doing my hand, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push that off to the side, hold it with my hand, okay? And then I'm going to come through the second ring, okay? And I'm just gonna alternate back and forth between the first ring and the second ring, okay? And I'm gonna put my hand in there again, okay? Hopefully you guys are seeing this. I'm gonna push it off to the side, okay? And then I'm gonna come back through the ring, the row below, okay? So we're just going on either side of that second ring, okay? So I'm just pushing that one off to the side again, okay? And then I'm gonna come on the other side of the ring, okay? I'm gonna measure with my hand, okay? And I'm just gonna continue to do this along the first ring there, okay? I just measure it with my hand, okay? And then I just push it off to the side, okay? So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I think I'm gonna do probably about 3 more, okay? So I'm on this side of the ring right now, you see? And I'm gonna push it through, and so it's looping, okay? And then I'm using my hand to guide where I wanna stop at. It's not perfect, you guys, by any means, but it's just a good way to give a guide. And once you've done it a few times, you might not even need to put your hand in there, okay? So I'll do another one. And then let's count kind of where we're at. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with 8, I think. So I'm on the second one. I'm gonna go back to the first one, okay? Now I'm not going to cut at this point in time, you guys, okay? All I'm doing is I am going to secure my ribbon, okay? So I'm gonna pull it to the back, my pipe cleaner. I'm gonna pull it to the back, and I'm just gonna give it a good twist, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I like to have the pipe cleaners already in place, okay? So we've got our first section done. Now when we get all done, you guys, we'll play with the ribbon, and we'll also decide where we want to add more ribbon. But that gives you an idea of kind of what that first section looks like. The next row we come in with, I'm gonna be working on this, okay? So just to clarify, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of this wreath, okay? I am working on the second one up is where I'm putting the ribbon in one side, looping it, pulling it through, and doing the second side, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on doing this, and I will meet you back as soon as I have made it all the way around the wreath. Okay, you guys will notice that I'm doing another pipe cleaner, and that's because my roll finished, and so I'm just putting one more through, and I made sure that I pulled it through so it's like a loop, and then I'm just going to continue on my way. come to the end of my area. So I'm just reusing that first one again. Okay, I'm going to use my scissors to clip my mesh. And so that was about a roll and a half that I used to get this first part all done. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to have some more pipe cleaners ready to go. And what I want to do is I am going to add red in to the middle of my bow. Excuse me, my wreath. And so I'm just going to start this red out, and we're going to do the exact same process, you guys. But this time, remember how I showed you on the wreath, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. I'm going to go to the inside one this time. Okay. So basically we're using row number 2 and row number 3. Okay. So I'm going to start from the inside. I'm going to pull a bow out or roll out about the size of my hand. Okay. And I'm going to put that right through. Hopefully you guys can see this. Not a good camera angle. I'm going to put that right through there. Okay. And I'm going to turn over, and I am going to tie it off with a tie. Now, I always try to use the same color pipe cleaner that my wreath is going to be, but Lisa only had white ones on hand today. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same process. It's a little harder to see, you guys, but I'm going to do the same process, and I'm going to pull in here. Let's get that pipe cleaner out of the way. I'm going to pull in there. Okay, I'm going to come up just like I did before. Okay, and then I'm going to go on the outside, and then I'm going to go on the inside. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way, you guys. I'm going to go, we're going to use, take that back, you guys. We're going to use number 3. If I use the outside, that won't quite work because then it will fall apart. So we're going to use number 2 and number 3 for this process. Hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. But basically all you guys are doing is pulling it through, and then every time you pull it through on the opposite side. Okay? And make sure you guys, I'm going to post a blog post on this also, and I'll give you guys some good close-up views of it. But basically all I'm doing is going on either side of that ring. Okay, coming up on the other side this time, and I'm pulling it through. Okay, and I'm trying to keep that the size the same, so I just keep putting sliding my hand in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do 7. Okay, and then I'm going to do, and it gets really tight this second row, you guys. So you've got to be really careful and just take your time and pull them through. Okay, then I'm going to come over, okay, and I'm going to add in a pipe cleaner to secure it. And then we'll be ready to go to the next section. Before I go to the next section though, I just want to show you how pretty this is going to be when it fluffs all up. Okay, so it doesn't look like much now, right? But when you start taking these and opening up, because remember that's 5.5 inches, right? You start opening these guys up, it just really, really adds to your wreath. Because look how full it looks now, and I've only done the red. Once I do that white too and open it all up, I really want to stretch it out, and you can just play with it a little bit. And since we haven't cut any of it, it doesn't ravel. So you can really play with fluffing out your whole wreath. So see what I mean by just doing that little amount what a change that shows and how it's really, really filling in. Okay, so I'm gonna keep working the red through, okay? And then I'll join you when I've got that all done. Okay, you guys, I've come to the end of my area and I'm going to cut that. I'm going to add in one last tie here to tie this down, and then we are going to start fluffing. And that's when it just all takes such shape, you guys. It is so cool just to watch it change before your eyes as you start fluffing this all out. So all I'm doing, just like I showed you before, is I'm just taking it and grabbing it, and I am just opening up all of those loops, okay? And you, believe you me, you can sit and play and play and play with this, because they fold and you just open them up, and before you know it, you've got a full wreath that you're working with. Then you guys get to decide, do you want to add anything to your wreath? So sometimes what I like to do with these is make these centerpieces, you guys, and I'll show you some pictures of how I would use this as a centerpiece when we get all done. But you know, you can hang these on the doors, you can make them be centerpieces, you can have them be inside, you can have them be outside, just all different things that you can do. Remember now the Deco mesh that I used here today is an outdoor one, so it's going to be perfect for hanging outside on my front door. I did one a couple weeks ago that I'm going to use. It's more of a Thanksgiving type theme. This one with the red I think will just be beautiful at Christmas time as a centerpiece on a table. Just think about what you could do with a beautiful candle or something, you know, coming up like that from it. So I had picked up some of these welcome from the Dollar Tree, and they're just the little metal, and I just thought that something like that would look so cute on, just as basic as that, hanging on the door. So I'll give you a close-up view of some different ideas of things you can do. Now you can either glue on your added items for your wreath, or you can use a string. You'll see with the one that I did for Thanksgiving, I actually used a string to add it. But just to give you an idea of how easy that pull-through method is. So I'm going to change my camera angle so you guys can get a better view of this. Okay, you guys, so here's a better view of that wreath. And just look how much, as I just continue to play with it, how it just really adds to it and makes it just that much fluffier. And then this was that welcome that I was telling you that I might just put right across there. So if I decide to do that, I'll show you a close-up view. But what I want to show you is the one that I completed the other day, same pull-through method, and this one, I went ahead and just took one of the Dollar Tree, I picked this up, it says Thankful, and I actually Mod Podged a napkin on top of it, and then I just added it with a string, and just look how cute that will be. So that's the one I'll be hanging out for Thanksgiving. And then this one, I think I am going to put together as a centerpiece. So just wanted to give you guys some ideas and show you how easy it is to do these pull-through wreaths with the Deco mesh ribbon. So if you like this tutorial, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for joining me for another Inspiration Friday.